The Canadian government announces plans to reduce emissions related to fertilizer use, sparking concern among the country's ag groups. Host of Real Ag Radio, Shaun Haney, joins us now with the latest. Thanks for joining us, Shaun. Originally, groups like Fertilizer Canada, they were supportive, but has that changed at this point?
Hey, Christina, great to be with you here this morning. So, yes, it has. And we talked to Fertilizer Canada going back to when this federal climate plan was first announced back in late fall. And they were supportive, and they wanted more details, but they thought that, they support the reduction of greenhouse gas emissions. That part has not changed. What has changed is as the details have been rolling out, that there is talk now that this 30% reduction is related to overall use of fertilizer, really putting a cap on how much fertilizer, synthetic fertilizer, could actually be used in the country. This is quite concerning. Canada is now pushing for fertilizer use per bushel produced, or as well tackling, lowering the greenhouse gas intensity. Those kind of things would be better measures and provide possibly the same kind of outcomes the government is striving for, instead of putting some sort of cap on how much fertilizer could be used across the nation.
Or how much synthetic fertilizer you should have to use. In your opinion right now, what's the main challenge for the government's plan?
Well, it comes down to a couple things. One is sort of a lack of connection to some of their own policies. So the government also rolled out last fall the Clean Fuel Standard, which is kind of Canada's equivalent to the RFS. And so they're really promoting biofuels. If we're going to have an increased, canola for biodiesel, renewable diesel, corn for ethanol, we're going to need fertilizer to do that. There's also, through the Barton report, there's a lot of focus on increasing Canadian agricultural exports. Synthetic fertilizer, once again, plays a role in that. And also, there's also a component here where I think it comes down to competitiveness. If other countries like the U.S. aren't doing these sorts of things, it really puts the Canadian farmer potentially at a real disadvantage when we look at the competitive global landscape. So I think there's some things here that are not well thought out that groups like Fertilizer Canada are really going to have to push the Canadian federal government on.
Yeah, a lot of ag groups are having to speak up on behalf of their actual role when it comes to the climate change discussion. So this is important here and where you are in Canada. Thank you for bringing it to our attention. Appreciate that, Shaun. Host of Real Ag Radio, Shaun Haney. Thanks for joining us. You can catch Shaun on his show. Real Ag Radio airs at 4:30 p.m. Eastern every weekday right here on your Market Day Report, and we'll touch base with him again tomorrow.